X-Men 2 Clone Wars is a platforming video game developed by Head Games and published by Sega for the Sega Genesis console. It was released on May 15, 1995. It is based off the Marvel line of comic books created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. It stars Beast, Cyclops, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Psylocke, Wolverine, and Magneto as they fight to stop the alien race known as Phalanx from consuming the planet Earth. This is X-Men 2 Clone Wars. X-Men 2 starts right off as soon as you turn on the console with its first stage in. A random X-Men character depending on which part of the D-pad you happen to be pressing at the time. This is the only annoying aspect of the game, so if you're going to turn it on, you best be ready to have enemies firing bullets at you right out of the gate. After you get past the first level, the title screen comes up and you can select your character. Each X-Men has a mutant power that can be used during gameplay and melee attacks, with the exception of the much slower Magneto. They also have little quirks and different moves that make each character unique, and if you play a certain character on a different stage, it can make the level either easier or harder depending on the X-Men character skill set. All of the X-Men characters are available to you at the get-go with the exception of Magneto, who can be unlocked after completing the Avalon stage. You can even fight Apocalypse, Deathbird, and Exodus as just a few characters you meet during the field of gameplay. The story is told through conversations Professor Xavier has with Cerebro, telling him about the Phalanx virus and what it's doing. Throughout the game, you go to Sentinel Manufacturing Facility, Avalon, Apocalypse's facility, the Savage Lands, and finally the Phalanx ship. The game ends with facing clones of the X-Men at the very last level. As any good game, it starts off easy and becomes more challenging the more you progress through the game. Unless you plan your selected X-Men character just right, there's one stage where you're just going down an elevator with aerial enemies that is perfect for Cyclops' optic blast, and a boss fight where Magento's floating ability combined with his projectile attack is just perfect. Despite Magneto being the weakest of the 7 playable characters, the graphics are sound and bring to life the story of the comic book universe rather well. The sound effects leave a little bit to be desired, and the music's not the best, but it doesn't distract too much from the overall gaming experience. X-Men 2 is probably one of the best X-Men games to ever come out, and the best X-Men game until X-Men Legends came to stores. Overall, X-Men 2 Clone Wars is an exciting retro video game that surprisingly has very little to do with George Lucas and everything to do with the era of X-Men comics that so many X-Men fans have come to love. If you somehow manage to miss this entry, then it's worth looking to get a Genesis console to play. If you already played it, then you know just how special it is. There is nothing more to say except get it.